Hi friends, this is Jess with Virtually Visual. I hope you're all doing well, and if you're new, welcome to the channel, and if you're coming back, welcome back. And today we have a fun tutorial. This isn't something I feel like is covered enough in the Cinema 4D community, and maybe it's just because people haven't explored it enough, but I'm mainly going to just be focusing today on like an updo, because that's, I think, harder to do than just having the hair all down. So I'm going to walk you through that process and feel free to watch along. First, let's just take a look at my scene. We just have the backdrop object. We have a dome light, which I need to add an HDRI to. I'm just going to pick this one at the top. It's like a studio lighting. And then I have a character from Daz that I have designed and then imported in, which it's an OBJ file. The first thing I like to do, and this is easiest if your character starts in T-pose, is we need to select the areas that we want to have the hair growing out of, like a hair cap. So we're gonna click on our character and we're gonna go into the face view. And for this I like to go also in front view. Zoom in here, so we're just looking mainly at the face. And we're just gonna go up to our select tool and hold down so you can get the lasso selection. We're going to be using that. And then also I want to make sure that I'm checking visible only. And that's just because if we don't have that checked and we do this, it'll select the faces on the back of the head too, which can be fine. But then if you are deselecting areas later, you might be deselecting stuff through the mesh as well. Hair usually has a part, so you can part your hair wherever you'd like, but I'm just gonna part mine down the middle. And what I mean by that is I'm gonna be having a left side of the head selected and then also make a selection for the right side. And these don't have to be exactly symmetrical unless you want them to be, but I'm just gonna kind of eyeball it. So I'm gonna start my selection. I'm gonna have it go there, kind of down here. And then just before the ear, I'm gonna click up here. So that's our selection so far. That's going to be where our hairline is. Let's go back into our perspective view. And I'm going to turn and zoom in. And now I want to select the little sideburn area by the ears. So I'm going to hold down Shift and make a little selection here, because we all have that part in our hair. And then really it's just a matter of, let me try to match up, make an even selection of these other faces on the head. So I don't know why it's not showing me. Okay, there we go. It wasn't showing me a cursor for a little bit. Okay, just take this in chunks. And it doesn't have to be perfect because hairlines aren't usually exactly symmetrical. And I like to kind of end it by the nape of the neck. Okay, so I think we've got our selection down. This is going to be one side of our head, and obviously you can totally select the whole head when you're doing this. It just, I think, makes it a little less realistic when you do add hair later, because typically our hair parts. So we have the selection. What's next? Make sure your character is selected, go to select in the menu, and then store selection. Now, if yours is a character like Daz, you probably already have a lot of these triangle polygon selections. So this will just get added to the very end. And I'm going to rename this. It's technically the right side of the character's head, but I'm just going to call it left since I'm looking at the left hair cap. So there we go. We have our left hair cap. And I'm just going to now do the same thing on the right, so I'm probably going to just speed that up. Now we have our left and our right hair caps going on, and that's really the basics of what you need to select. But just for additional detail, I'm also going to make a few little selections where I'm going to want some dynamic wispy hairs. So I'm going to start selecting a new area. Okay, so we've got some extra selections. Let's store that. Oh, and then one more selection that I forgot about. For this, since I'm doing an updo, I want to also just make a selection where I'm going to have our either ponytail or bun go. So I'll do a ponytail for the sake of this tutorial because I've already tried out a bun. I'm just going to select that area now. Okay, something like that. Okay, so just to recap, we should have 4 selections. We've got our left hair cap, our right hair cap, our wispy hairs, and then our ponytail. So that is a long kind of process for what you need when doing realistic hair, but obviously it's worth it in the end. If you want to add hair to a specific section, I recommend being selected on that polygon area and then going up to maybe it's MoGraph, or no, it's Simulate, isn't it? Simulate hair objects, add hair, and we have hair. And this is pretty crazy. Obviously this is a lot, and for our sake we don't actually want the hair super long because we're gonna have the illusion that it is being pulled back into a ponytail. So this hair won't actually go into the ponytail at all. We're just styling the caps first, and then we'll have our ponytail hair at the end. So what we want to do here, I'm gonna up our segments for the guides to maybe 15. Actually no, these are gonna be, well yeah, we'll do 15 because these aren't gonna be moving, but that's okay. We still want some easy styling. And then I'm gonna change this count down to like 500. And then length, we'll try 30 for now, and then we can cut what we need. And then hairs, we're really not going to need a ton. I'm just going to put 500 and change the segments to 30. And once you've done that, now we can start grooming that section. So go up to the tabs on the right at the very top and hit groom. Let's also save while we're at it. And then you're going to click this brush icon that shows up, and you can see it's selecting different hairs, and now we can start brushing. But before we do that, I want to make sure that our hairs don't intersect with our model. So I'm going to click on our Genesis 8 female character from Daz, and I'm going to right click and I'm going to go to hair tags, hair collider, click on your brush settings, and then click collisions to make sure that we've got that. So now when we brush, when we eventually brush closer towards the head, it's not gonna intersect. So this is all just kind of like eyeballing it. You need to, you know, be careful. How would you imagine hair being pulled back into a ponytail? So you just gotta work with it until you're happy with it. So I think that's pretty good for this side. Let me just make sure this is somewhat close to the head. Okay, so then obviously, as I said, we don't want this hair to be the actual ponytail. So I'm going to cut it right where they all kind of come together. So I'm just going to navigate to these scissors and I'm going to cut. I'm going to cut like right there. So that is half of our head, and now we just need to do the same thing to the other side. Oh, but I should mention that, again, like we did the first time, you want to find the polygon selection that you need and select it. Let's make sure our character is also clicked on. And then you're going to go up to simulate hair objects, and you're going to add hair again. And then we're going to just repeat what we did. let's save again. We have our two sides of the head. And next let's do the ponytail, and then we'll end with the wispy hair selection. Let's finally do the wispy hairs. So let's make sure our character is selected. So I think we've got all of our hairs. We've got the two halves of the head, we have the ponytail, and we have the wispy hairs. Next, this is an important step. We're gonna go through each of our hair objects. Let's also rename them so we know. So, important here. We need to select which ones we want dynamics on and which ones we don't. And we need to disable it if they don't need it. So for the left and right cap, we definitely don't need it. So let's go into the dynamics tab and disable. Same for right cap, disable. For the moment, I might disable the ponytail just so that we can add a collider for the ponytail holder. But we'll keep it on for the wispies. And we can take a look now at what it looks like in our render. So let's go to Redshift, Redshift render view, and let's pull that here. Let's add a camera. All right, let's hit play. So it may look like this, and you may be panicking, because you may be like, oh my gosh, this is not what I was expecting. Just what on earth have you had me do? But we're gonna fix this. The main problem here is just the material and the thickness of the hair and whatnot. So what we're gonna do, let's do this angle here. So we need to change the size of the material. So let's double click on our hair material for any of them. And let's go in and change this. First, I'm gonna do thickness. Let's change the root to let's do 0.2, and then we'll do 0.05 for the tip. And make sure you bring this dot in the curve down. So that already helped our hairs a lot. Let's find this hair material, and we'll call this hair main, and let's drag that onto our other ones except for the wispies also. And that already made things look a lot better, but let's go back in there and let's also change the thickness to 0.1 maybe for the root. And then let's duplicate that material for the wispies, hair wispies, and drag that on there, and we can delete these other ones. Okay, so a couple things. It also looks like our ponytail didn't update either. Oh well, yeah, that's it. It's got 50,000. Okay, there we go. That's looking a little bit better. Let's change our main hairs though. I think maybe we don't have enough. Let's bump this up to a crazy number just to double check. Okay, so that works. Let's try that here. Okay. I don't like how thick that looks though. Let's try 20,000. Maybe you just need a high number sometimes, but I don't always like having it so dense. Okay, anyway, we'll just go with that for now. I don't know if that updated our ponytail though. It looks a little George Washington-y for sure. I don't like this hair cap. It's too dense. Too dense, folks. It looks okay right there, but we need to adjust something. Maybe the segments. Segments on the wispies are also only 12. We don't want that. See, it's kind of trial and error. You have to go back and forth every once in a while and check all these things. Let's try upping the segments on the hair cap to 60. That'll curve out some of that jaggedness we're getting there. And then maybe we can take the count down to 10,000. Same here, 10,000. Let's see if we can update the ponytail. Maybe I need to groom that some more. Does that look better? That looks a lot better. Let's also cut the bottom so it's a little bit more even. Okay, so our ponytail's a lot better. Obviously the hair still looks a little funky, so what can we do to help make the material itself look better? If we click on our materials, go to basic, you have all these check boxes here. Something you can do is check certain things. Like I like to check clump. I like to check displace, I think. And then I think it's frizz. And obviously you can play around with any of these, but then it gives you these tabs here in the same material. So let's go to frizz. Let's do 20%. Let's just see what that's like. And then scale, maybe this is only like 8. Let's try 50. Go down to 10. It's looking a little too frizzy now. And we'll bring this to like 100 again. Okay, then let's go to clump. I like to bring this up. Let's try 70%. And let's try 30%. This is all just trial and error. And that's, again, this is only affecting our left cap, I believe. Let's just drag that onto the right to be safe. I might have to duplicate. Maybe they all need their own material, but I don't think I needed that before. So I'm not sure what's going on there. Maybe it's affecting it too. It's kind of hard to tell. I guess we have some stuff going on. So that's a little bit better. I might need to somehow smooth out some of those hairs. Cinema 4D crashed. I've been experiencing that a lot more lately. I think it's because I updated my drivers, so gonna have to roll that back. But we are back. Sorry about that. I just was working on trying to straighten some of the weirdness on the left cap of the hair. So that's where we're at. Let's go back into the groom tab just in case. Actually, let me get out of the camera first. Okay, and I think our ponytail is still groomed, so we're good there. Let's focus now on making the material look a little bit better. So this is the standard Cinema 4D hair, and it's alright. It's not great. But hopefully if you're a Cinema 4D creator, hopefully you have either Redshift or Octane and can utilize their hair material. And something that I thought when I was first looking at the Redshift hair materials, I thought you had to only have the Redshift material, and I was confused why it wasn't doing anything. And it's called this principled hair, by the way. But actually what you need to do is you need to have your Cinema 4D hair still on, and then you also drag this principled hair material onto those same hair spots. So what we can do now, if you click into this Redshift principled hair, you need to take your albedo mix all the way up. That's going to bring in that color from the regular hair. And then you can play with all these other settings. I also like their variation tab. They have like this hair glint strength that you can play with. I think it's just that little layer of shininess, which is really fun. And then, yeah, stray hair. Like you can, like, look at taking this up gives you like stray hair coloration, which is the stray hair albedo. So you can play with that as well. You could kind of have your character graying hair if you want that way, or we can just bring this down to kind of a more warm brown. And let's also take our roughness up a little bit. And then already I think this looks so much better than the base material. We do need to add some of our displacement stuff though to the others, like we did with our hair mane. We added the or maybe it was, oh, it took it out when it crashed. So let me re-add that. So in your hair, so your Cinema 4D hair material, make sure you check like clump, displace Frizz, and whatever else you'd like. You could also leave it at the default settings. It looks kind of nice that way. I'm gonna try that for all of these. And for ponytail, maybe I'll add a little bit of wave. And then wispies. Oh, wait, not kink. Displace. Frizz. Okay, so already we're looking much more interesting. Let's focus on the ponytail right now. Let's do the material for the ponytail. Let's play with clump. Maybe let's take that up to 80. And then, oh wait, and then let's take the clump up to 80. Let's see what that does. Oh, okay, that makes it look like wet hair. We don't really want that, but useful tip. Let's do 20. Wave is probably the one that's kind of messing with things. Again, this is all just kind of trial and error. You play with what you would like. I think that looks nice. And then maybe we want to add some wave or something to our wispy hairs. Okay, so let's just say we're happy with that. Also, maybe this is a time where we want to refine our hairline a little bit. That looks a little better. Let's hit save. Hopefully Cinema 4D doesn't crash. And okay, I think now we're ready for some dynamics. Let's see if we hit play. Let's turn off our IPR. If we hit play, what does our wispies look like? So it's really just reacting to gravity right now. You could add in some wind if you wanted. Also, I see that some of these hairs are clipping into the face. I don't really know. I haven't fixed that yet. If anybody knows what causes that and you can help, that would be great. And if anybody knows and has any tips for why that's happening, even though I've got surface to hair enabled and then we have our Genesis 8 female excluded, let us know on why that's happening. Let's focus on the ponytail now because we want to add our hair tie. Hope you learned a lot about grooming hair in C4D. I've only been doing this for a little bit. I've only been practicing with the hair system for a brief period, so I don't know a ton, but I hope this at least can get you started if you're thinking about trying some of the hair settings. So yeah, let me know if you guys enjoyed. Hopefully you guys can create something fun, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next tutorial. Bye.